Hi, church family. It's Pastor Phil here. I just wanted to give you a brief update about where we're at with this discernment about in-person gatherings as we continue to navigate the COVID-19 crisis. Thanks for your patience. Over the last couple weeks, I've been trying to get up to speed with the work that the reopening team and the lead team has been diligently working on over these past couple of months. And I'm just really grateful for their work. They've been studying the various government protocols, envisioning the feasibility of safe gatherings here, and developing and deciding on policies. So in a lot of ways, this update is drawing on a discernment process that preceded me, and I'm grateful for their work. I just want to give you a quick update about where we're at for fall. First of all, we want to just make sure that we make safety and health a top priority for our church. And so to that end, I just would encourage you to continue to stay home and stay safe as much as possible. There are protocols that allow for religious gatherings, but the recommendations from the CDC are still that people would avoid large gatherings if possible and worship remotely. This is especially true for those of you who are over 65 or have pre-existing health conditions. So I just really encourage you to make our online services the primary source for your Sunday morning worship. And also, I just encourage you to continue to find ways to gather in smaller settings. I met with Pastor Janet this week, and we looked at all the groups that are continuing to meet either on Zoom or social distance in small settings. And there are over 16 groups that are continuing to gather. I'm so grateful for those opportunities. The reopening team has approved policy for groups of 5 to meet in various rooms in our building, or 4 groups of 5 in our multi-purpose room. So if your group is wanting to meet, you can register with Chris in the office to gather here as the weather turns on us. At the same time, we recognize that this has been a long season of separation. It was great for us to be able to meet on the lawn in the summer safely, but now as the weather turns, we're wrestling with this question of how much to gather indoors. We recognize that this has taken an emotional and spiritual toll on us as the weeks have turned into months. And so what I'd like to do is just get a read from you as a congregation on how you feel about the question of in-person worship gatherings. It's been a while since we've had some information, and so below this video, there is a link that you can click on for a real short survey just to give us a sense of what your interest level would be should we open up some opportunities for worship. If we see that there is a felt need for that, we are open to the idea of creating a small worship gathering on Sundays. This would be after our online service during the normal Life Together time. So we're waiting to see what the feedback is, and then we'd envision what those details would look like. I met with some members of the reopening team, and we spent some time mapping out how we could actually socially distance in this space. And through that process, realized that it would be a lower number than we initially imagined. If we moved in this direction, we'd want to start small with a group of around 25 to 30 people. We feel that that's a way that we could uphold the protocols, have enough space for other volunteers and musicians, but also to create a more interactive environment. The reality is that if we gather, there won't be an opportunity for us to go into the lobby and have that normal coffee hour and connection. So by forming a small gathering in here, we could facilitate things like dialogue and connection. So I thank you for taking time to just fill out and give us this information. Once we gather that, we'll have an update for you soon about where things are at as we continue to discern this. I know this has been a hard season, and I can't wait for that time when we can just open up the doors and let everybody come back. Unfortunately, we know we just can't do that safely at this point. But do take heart and know that this season will not last forever. In the grand scheme of things, this will be a short season in our spiritual journey. I'm hopeful that we will get through this and continue to be the church even with these limitations. Lastly, I just want to say that I'd encourage us to see some of the sacrifices that we have to make for the sake of safety are actually acts of worship themselves. I was thinking of Apostle Paul's statement in Romans 12, where he says that our spiritual act of worship is to offer ourselves sacrificially, loving one another. And so let us continue to love and care for one another as we are in this together. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.